Right then, Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Oh dear, we are in trouble.
These lads are staring down the barrel of relegation. It's looking like they are going straight down to the Championship and they have no chance of surviving. They decided to bring in Rob Edwards, the man that famously got relegated with Luton Town. Now, I don't know why they would get a specialist in failure, because they seriously need to stay up. Spent a lot of money over the years, had some great players, and they're a shadow of their former self. Now, I can sort of understand why they would have brought in Rob Edwards. I know he's a former player, but for me, you want to bring in someone who knows what it's like to win with the club, someone who's tasted a bit of success. And for me, you can look no further than Connor Cody. Now, I know he's playing at Wrexham at the minute. We're just going to pull the plug in his career and get him back to Wolverhampton. He's got a job to do for us here. Now, he's dressed like a man at a funeral. As long as it's not our own, I don't care what he wears. Right, we'll be starting where Wolves are in real life, so that's rock bottom of the Premier League and sitting on just 2 points. It's pretty grim reading. Now, when you look at the team, it's kind of hard to see why they are where they are. They're not bad at all. Andre and Gomez in midfield, I really like those two. Sa in goal, solid. Arias and Chan probably could do better there on the wings. I mean, they have Larson up front. He's a brilliant striker. Was linked with some big moves away in the summer. Right, this is looking like a pretty grim start to life at Wolves. We've got Manchester United up next, then followed by top of the league Arsenal. High-flying Brentford doing well under Keith Andrews, followed by Liverpool away. Probably the most winnable game of the lot, to be honest. And then Manchester United at Old Trafford again at the end of the month. Jesus Christ, it doesn't get much tougher than that. Now, obviously, before we can make any personnel changes to the team in the January transfer window, we have a few more weeks to go in December. I'm going to change up the formation and put us in this 4-3-3 shape. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I just don't like playing with 5 at the back. I prefer a solid flat back 4 with a defensive midfielder here who will be Andre, dropping in to help out the defence. I just think with 2 in midfield, you don't have enough of an attacking outlet as well, so with Gomez, Andre and Munetzi for now, we will be more attacking minded and hopefully we'll be able to improve our results going forward. Arias and Chan on the wings with Larson up top. That's how we're going to approach these 4 games in December. Let's see how we get on, and hopefully we won't be still sitting rock bottom come January 1st and we can make some changes. Now, for some reason, I decided to subject myself to the torture of playing out Wolves' remaining December fixtures. As you can see here, Man United destroy us. We get 1 through Strand Larsen, but it means nothing really in the end. We then travel to the Emirates, where Arsenal decide to run through us. 4-0 this game finished off. And even when we're back at home, we're having no luck, as Brentford put us to the sword. Things get no easier as we travel away to Anfield. Great save from Ortega here, means nothing as they still manage to score. Back home then against United at Molineux, they decide to bend us over again for the 2nd time in December. 2-0 at home, a grim start to life for Connor Cody at Wolves. Okay, so it definitely hasn't been the best start to life. Here we are in January 1st, still sitting on 2 points, rock bottom of the league. Right, well, the solution is simple really, I guess. We've got to change up this squad because this team is going nowhere. We are headed straight down to relegation. There's going to be wholesale changes here this January. We're going to be shaking up the squad big time. 47 million in the bank. Not really a lot for what I'm thinking we're going to need to do. This squad needs total reinvention. I think we're going to have to make a few player sales in order to get that budget up. Now, as I mentioned previously, when Wolves were at their best most recently, they had a load of Portuguese players in their team. I'm thinking of João Matinho, Ruben Neves, Diogo Jota. So I want to bring in some Portuguese quality. I feel that's something that this team has lost sight of over the years. So Thiago Thomas is going to be coming in for us. He's a left winger but also can play up top. I remember when he was at Sporting, an upcoming striker, but he seems to have transitioned out to a wing player. So see if he can give us that extra bit of quality on the wings and hopefully be an attacking threat for us and get some goals, because yeah, they're in short supply for us at the minute. Now, next man through the door is this fella, Yasser Asprilla. He's an explosive left winger, left-footed as well, so we're going to be looking to get him to cut in on his strong foot, hopefully wrap it into the top bins. Colombian international, there's been some Colombians that have done well in the league over recent times. I'm thinking of John Duran, Luis Diaz, so hopefully Asprilla is up next. Now, this one's a bit left field, I know, but look, when you're in a dogfight like this, you need experience and Premier League experience to pull you out of it. And I had a look through the leagues here. Henrik Mkhitaryan had 0 appearances for Inter. 37 years of age, so he's really in the twilight of his career, but I think he could do a job for us. We got him on a real cut price deal, only 5.8 million plus a player. So yeah, delighted to get him in the team. Look, even if he only lasts us a season, if he can pull us out of that relegation zone, he'll have done his job and he'll have more than paid off the money. So yeah, Henrik Mkhitaryan, welcome to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And in line with that idea of Premier League experience, I've opted to bring in the free agent Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Now, next up is Stefan Ortega, the Manchester City goalkeeper. With James Trafford and Gianluigi Donnarumma at Man City, he's getting no game time, so decided to bring him in. A Premier League winner, Champions League winner, so some serious quality added to the team. Now, with Stefan Ortega's arrival, I opted to get rid of both Jose Sa and Sam Johnson. There was just no need to have two keepers on the same rating hanging around the squad. So this is how our team now looks. We've got Thiago Thomas and Asprilla either side of Larsson up top. Hopefully those two will prove to be the difference and they'll give us a bit more of an attacking threat going forward. Now, the veteran in midfield, Henrik Mkhitaryan, 37 years of age. He's got no legs left, but that's not what we need him for. Andre and Gomez are going to do the majority of the work, the majority of the running in midfield, while Mkhitaryan is going to be playing those killer final balls, threading it through to our attackers here, and hopefully, yeah, he can prove to be the difference and give us that bit of extra quality in midfield. And then, of course, we've improved in our goalkeeping position with Johnson and Sa both gone out the club. It's all on Ortega here to do well. He's a good man to pass it out from the back, and he came in clutch for City during their run-in a few years ago. So yeah, we're going to be hoping he can come in clutch for us and get us out of the relegation zone, and hopefully we can stay in the Premier League. Now, we're still winless, so yeah, pretty grim reading, but hopefully these signings are going to be the improvement that we need to pull us out of this relegation dogfight. And yeah, at least get a win on the board, because to get to January without even a win is a disgrace. So yeah, let's try and get our season back on track. Now, I'm going to give you a look at how we get on through the season, just a few quick highlights here and there to show you how we're getting on. And yeah, I'll check back in May for the run-in and we'll see just how far off the bottom we are. Straight away, we're going to see how much of an impact these new signings are going to make as we welcome Chelsea to Molineux. And unfortunately, we get off to a horror start. It's 20 minutes in, they bag, and just 10 minutes later, they strike again through Enzo Fernandez. We try and strike back with João Gomez here. No luck. A corner comes in and Agbadou actually rises highest to get it over the line. We just about get that over marginally, but definitely a goal. But it means nothing as Chelsea come down the other end. João Pedro bags again, and it's not long before they chip one in over Ortega. Horror show in his debut, 4 conceded. Speaking of debuts, Asprilla gets off to a decent one here. Lovely finish across the keeper, but unfortunately it came in the 92nd minute, so it means nothing and we have to hold the L. And it's a disappointing start to life for our new signings. And it didn't look like it was going to get any better for us as we travel to Selhurst Park, and it's Jeremy Pino who hits an absolute peach into the top corner. Yasser Asprilla continues his good start to life at Wolves as he fires back quickly, and it's him again who actually puts us ahead, fires across the keeper, and yeah, we managed to turn this one around, and it's the first sign of positivity as we record our first win of the season. And if there was ever a game to carry a bit of positivity into, it was this one as we face against our rivals Aston Villa. Strand Larsen pops up with a lovely dinked header over Martinez there. Inside the first 13 minutes, the perfect start for us, just what we would have wanted. And an unfamiliar feeling for Wolves fans this season as we go 2-0 up. Thiago Thomas, our brand new Portuguese left winger, bags for us in the derby. A super start to life for him here at Wolverhampton Wanderers. And it's Thiago Thomas again here who just flashes the ball wide, but it doesn't matter as it's in the dying moments of the game as we record another victory. Could this be enough to pull us out of the relegation zone? Okay, so we've arrived to May 1st. We are sitting in 19th place, 27 points. Fulham sitting in 17th in safety on 32. 5 points off them. Burnley just below us, Leeds above us, Fulham and Sunderland just above us as well. Both really in touching distance, and that's crucial because when you look at our fixtures, we play Sunderland, Brighton, Fulham and Burnley. Along with ourselves, that's the bottom 5 teams. So really, if we can get results in these games, we will pull ourselves out of that relegation zone and back into safety. These next few games are huge. So first up is Sunderland. They come to Molineux. As you can see here, they're sitting just a couple of points above us, definitely within reach, so this is a huge game for us. Conor Cody, the biggest game of his managerial career. This could be a huge step in gaining Premier League safety. Granite Xhaka from distance. Oh, Jesus, great save, Ortega. We know Xhaka can hit them. What a shot. Send them. Thiago. Thomas, lovely bit of skill. Put it in. Strand Larsen. He's done the defender. Put it in the goal. Yes. Jurgen Strand Larsen with a strike worthy of saving any Premier League team. We hit them with a lovely bit of skill. Thiago Thomas dinks it over his defender initially, finds Strand Larsen, and he was never going to make a mistake from there. Smashes it into the roof of the net. Chichoa. Oh no, get it out. Block that. Robbie Bags. That's not Robbie, actually, it's a Dingra. Jesus Christ. Right, we're in a bit of trouble, lads. Get up for that. Strand Larsen, come deep, suck them in. Now go. Come on, Thiago Thomas, we need you. Thiago Thomas, still going here. Cross goal, yes. A brilliant bit of counter-attack play there. Strand Larsen came in deep, played in Thiago Thomas with a great run off the wing. They were never going to catch him when he was in that position. And a lovely deft finish past Patterson, and we're back in front. Referee blows the full-time whistle and we get out of jail. 1 down, 3 to go. Right, Brighton up next. Agbadil, oh, he's been pulled out of place. Welbeck. Oh my God, they've bagged early. Oh my God. Oh, it's a horror start for us. Danny Welbeck, the veteran, slots one straight past Ortega. Couldn't be a worse start for us. We really need to win this game. Strand Larsen finds Asprilla. Come on, Asprilla. And the shot stings the gloves of the keeper. Nothing more that he could do there. Karol Matoma breaking into our box here. Bueno puts pressure on him. Oh, he's dived in and given away a clear pen. Can Ortega save us? Oh, he went the right way, but the keeper had the height on him there and we get punished. Danny Welbeck inside. Minta slips through Reuter and it's 3-0. This game's gone away from us, lads. Welbeck inside. Cambiasso back to Welbeck. Oh my God, it's 4-0. He finds Reuter. Out wide, back to Reuter. Oh my God, they're in again. Jorginho Reuter. Oh my, it's 5-0. Oh my God. And that's full time. Brighton 5, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. We've got to try and put that game out of our head now and get back in form for the remaining 2 games. So after that horrendous result, we are still sitting 2 points behind Leeds, 3 points behind Fulham, who are in 17th and safe at the moment. Leeds playing Brighton next though, so they're surely not going to get a result. But it's us who have to beat Fulham, and if we don't, we're as good as relegated. Right, up next we welcome Fulham to the rain in Molineux. This really is do or die for us here. If we don't beat Fulham, we're as good as gone. It's Muniz, there and down on goal. Good save, Ortega. And he buries it. Oh, he knocks out the corner flag. Is it a knockout blow for Wolverhampton Wanderers? Are we heading out of the Premier League? Look inside for Strand Larsen. Look inside for him. Knocks it into him. Strand Larsen into Thiago Thomas. Yes! Well done, lads. That's a brilliant goal. Brilliant counter-attacking move. Thiago Thomas with a lovely finish. Emile Smith-Rowe, edge of the box. It's Rodrigo Muniz. Great save, Ortega. Up to Strand Larsen. Well done. Lovely ball out to Asprilla. Here we go. This has to be the moment. It's Asprilla breaking into the Fulham box. Asprilla cross Leno and into the top corner. And we are 2-1 up. Yasser Asprilla with his 6th goal of the season. How crucial could that be in this relegation battle? Hold it up. Wait for Strand Larsen. Where are you, Strand Larsen? Asprilla inside. Gomez finds Strand Larsen. Mkhitaryan, yes! Henrik Mkhitaryan gives us daylight. We are 3-1 up against Fulham. That is huge in the race for safety. Jimenez. Smith-Rowe finds Rodrigo Muniz. Where's Ortega going? Muniz dinks it over and makes him look like a fool. Well, that was a foolish move coming out like that. I don't know where he was going. Fulham go long. But Mkhitaryan cuts it out well. Plays it up first time, but Strand Larsen doesn't have the pace. Calvin Bassey knocks it out. And that is that. Fulham slip up here against us at Molineux, and we managed to make them pay. 3-2 to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Let's see where that puts us in the table. And as predicted, Leeds lost to Brighton So that means that win against Fulham was absolutely crucial as they face off against high-flying Newcastle next, whereas we're facing bottom of the league and already relegated Burnley. That result was huge for us. We take on Burnley here at Turf Moor on the final day of the season, but it's out of our control. We need Newcastle United to do us a favour and beat Fulham. But look, we've got to just focus on ourselves and do our job. Knock it inside, knock it inside. Strand Larsen, one more. Thiago Thomas. Early goal! Oh my God, no. No, you can't miss from there. That is shocking. Joe Gomez. Can't win it. On to Hannibal. Get that little rat. Well done, Chichoa. Strand Larsen. Look for the run. Thiago Thomas. Put it inside, son. Put it inside. Yes! Joe Gomez with the goal. Our captain puts us one up. Knocks it in towards Fleming, but Ortega comes out and claims it well. Oh, good chance for Burnley here. Good save, Ortega. Back to Hannibal, knocks it inside. Fleming looking for the run. Fleming finds Larsen. Back inside. Fleming again. Good save, Ortega. No! Oh, he's offside. Oh my God. We got let out of jail. Oh my God. In the Burnley box. What are you trying there? So, oh my God, it's come off for him. Shoot! Oh, it's blocked. Anthony whips it in. Oh my God, it's fallen to Lyle Foster. Great save, Ortega. Oh my God. He had no right to save that. That's an unbelievable stop. Right, from the resulting corner here, they go in. Cullen heads it. Good save, Ortega. Right, get this out quick. Catch them while they're all up. Asprilla. Knock it over. Thiago Thomas, great run. Oh my God, we're in. Thiago Thomas, bearing down on goal. Slip it to him. Larsen. Yes! Get in there. Wolves 2, Burnley 0. We catch them on the hop there. They were not ready for the counter-attack. Beautiful ball over the top from Asprilla. Thiago Thomas bearing down on goal. Slips it across to Strand Larsen. And it's a poacher's finish. And that is full time. Right, let's see where that puts us. The boys don't look too sad. So yeah, let's hope for the best. Let's check the table and see where we are. And would you look at that. That final 2-0 win against Burnley managed to sneak us above Sunderland and put us into 16th place. Fulham lose to Newcastle. They go down along with Leeds and Burnley. We somehow managed to pull off the great escape and survived relegation. And we will be playing Premier League football next season. And of course, after pulling off that miracle, the Wolves board are happy to keep Conor Cody in charge going forward. Right, season 2 budget and yeah, 63 million. Not the worst. We can definitely work with that. I know the defence wasn't especially brilliant, but it's so important to have a strong foundation. And I just want a higher rated keeper in goal for us. So we're getting a great deal here. James Trafford is joining us from Manchester City on loan. No place for him in the team with Donnarumma over there, so we're more than happy to welcome him over to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And here we have a key departure here. Tolu Arakadare is leaving us. I managed to get massive money for him. 39 million we managed to squeeze out of Crystal Palace to take him away from us. And yeah, to be honest, I wasn't that impressed with him last year. And he's too similar to Jørgen Strand Larsen, so there's no point having two big 6-footers in the team. So yeah, Strand Larsen's who we're going to be sticking with. He was here first anyway, so yeah, good luck Arakadare. Hopefully you don't score against us. Of course, with a marquee departure, we need a marquee signing. So in comes Evan Ndika from Roma. 82 rated. We managed to get him for 24 million plus Totti Gomez. He wasn't getting any game time, so it was a no-brainer really to send him on his way to Roma. Evan Ndika is going to be a huge addition for us at the back. Now, by beating them last year, we basically confirmed Fulham's relegation, and we're adding insult to injury here as we're poaching basically their best player. Alex Iwobi is joining us here at Wolverhampton Wanderers. 15 million plus Hwang. I have no real place for Hwang in the team, and plus Iwobi is an experienced Premier League player at this point. And then just to round out the business, I've brought in Albert Gudmundsson from Fiorentina. He's going to be the Tolu replacement. Bit of a smaller player, something different to Strand Larsen. And that concludes our summer business. So, opening day of the season, we find ourselves away at Bramall Lane. And these kind of games are the games that this season we're going to target to win. Last year, we were coming up against these lower ranked teams and not taking all 3 points. Well, that ends this season as Gudmundsson gets off to a flying start here on his Wolves debut. Bags early, just 6 minutes in, and just before the halftime whistle, he strikes again. Great start to life for him here at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Chichoa up for the back, slips it back to Andre, and he seals the third goal for us as we put the blades to the sword and wrap up the 3 points here at Bramall Lane. Now this season I wanted to try have a good run in the Cups, but unfortunately Bournemouth had other ideas. They bag here to Adley inside the opening 21 minutes, and then it's an absolute horror show from Bueno here. Tries to clear it, slips over, they snick it back, and Adley strikes again to kill our cup run hopes. Now here we are away at the London Stadium, and unfortunately this is the story of a team who's clinical versus a team who's not. As we strike early here, we don't get the goal from a West Ham up the other end, and Gonzalo Ramos breaks hearts as he strikes into the roof of the net there. We then try and answer back here. Long shot from Iwobi just whistles wide. Good cross in, but Thomas heads it straight at the keeper, and we're left to rue those missed chances as Jared Bowen goes up the other end and puts West Ham 2-0 up. And it's not long before Gonzalo Ramos and Bowen combine once more to put the game out of sight. Nice play from Asprilla and Thomas here to pull back a consolation goal, but that's all it was as we hold the L at the London Stadium. Away at City next, and James Trafford forgets he's allowed to catch the ball here as he palms it back straight into the path of Omar Marmoush. Alex Iwobi finds himself in the box here, loose ball, Goodmanson gets on it and slots it home. An impressive start to life at Wolves for the Iceman. A 1-2 in midfield here sees Asprilla get freed up and strikes a perler into the corner, straight off the post. Keeper has no chance there. I don't know, did City tell James Trafford he wasn't allowed to perform well against his parent club as he palms that straight into the path of Omar Marmoush again? João Gomes has a goal from distance but no use, and that's all she wrote as it ends 2-2 at the Etihad Stadium. Away at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, Everton failed to clear it here. Great pressure from Goodmanson, and he was never going to miss in front of goal like that. Suspect goalkeeping again here from James Trafford as he palms it straight into the path of Yakuba Minta. It's captain clutch for us again though as Yasser Asprilla breaks into the Everton box and curls that one round Travers, and that finesse shot starting to become a bit of a trademark for him. It's a beauty of a crossfield ball from him over to Goodmanson. He smashes that past the Everton keeper to bag all 3 points for us. He was only brought in as backup, but his good performances are keeping Strand Larsen out of the team at the moment. Now how's this for a pleasant surprise? We find ourselves at Wembley for the FA Cup semi-final against Tottenham Hotspurs. It's Spurs who have the first attempt here, but it goes just wide. But it's actually Andre Gomes who opens the scoring for us. It's a cracking effort from the edge of the box to give us the lead in this semi-final. But unfortunately, that's as good as it got for us as James Maddison finds himself free in the box and headers home before Matthias Tell snaps it in from a couple of yards out and crushes our FA Cup dreams. A tough old pill to swallow to finish the season, but look, we have to take the positives out of it. This time last year we were battling relegation. We're in a much better place now. Now, stats for the season. Thiago Thomas, 25 goals. Great second season from him. Strand Larsen with 20 goals, up to an 84 overall. Alex Iwobi coming out with the most assists. Been a great signing for us. 6th place finish for us. Massive improvement from last year. Let's see how we get on in Season 3. Now, first through the door, Season 3 is John Mikel Arambu, the Venezuelan right back. A bit more solid than Chichoa. Bit better going forward too. And following him is André Santos. The Brazilian midfielder wasn't getting a look in over at Chelsea. We brought him in for big money, but I think he's going to be the perfect addition in our midfield. Now, after a few dodgy performances last year, James Trafford was on fraud watch, so I've sent him back to City and brought in Luis Jr. in goal. Now, a lot of outlay, of course, to bring in these players, but I'm backing them to improve our team and help us push on. But uh-oh, big mix in the office, and there's big money on the table. The Lego man offered us 65 million for Jurgen Strand Larsen, and I couldn't say no. With the form of Goodmanson last year, he wasn't really playing towards the end anyway, so too good to say no to. Even so, it was a bit of an unexpected departure, so I've had to make a last minute signing. Marc Guiu comes in. The Spanish striker, I'm backing him to do well. Opening day of the season now, we find ourselves away at Old Trafford coming up against our former player Matheus Cunha. We show that we don't need him anymore as Goodmanson fires us ahead early. It'll be Cunha though who sets up this goal, which is the equaliser for United as they header it past Junior on his debut. Goodmanson, normally so dependable in these situations, fluffs his lines. It's a good save from Junior to deny Cunha's shot, but that's all she wrote as this game ends 1-1 on the opening day of the season. And it's painful watching this one back here as we're at Anfield and Goodmanson's denied from Marmadashvili at the near post. We managed to pick Virgil van Dijk's pocket, but we can't make the most of it. And in typical fashion, Liverpool go down the other end and Alexander Isak smashes that one into the roof of the net. Our misery isn't over here though, as Gudmundsson's header just hits the post. Van Dijk clears it out, it falls to João Gomes. He dribbles past Wirtz like he's not even there, carries the ball, has a pop shot from distance, but it's saved by Marmadashvili. Gudmundsson's effort hits the crossbar here, he was offside anyway, but that just sums up our luck today as we leave Anfield empty-handed. Brighton at the Amex next and they strike first. Getting a bit worried about our defending, we don't seem to go through a game without them scoring. Asprilla comes close here, good save from the keeper. It's Iwobi with a lovely reverse ball to Santos, who scores his first for the club. A screamer into the roof of the net, and it's Thiago Thomas who eventually slips in Gudmundsson as we manage to wrap up all 3 points here at Brighton. Next up, we travel up north to the Magpies. Asprilla opens up the scoring for us. Lois Openda sneaks past our defence and slips it under Junior to equalise for Newcastle. It's João Gomes' effort from distance that falls into the path of Thiago Thomas, who seals the victory for us here. And well, look where we find ourselves once more. FA Cup semi-finals against Chelsea. It's their former player André Santos who slips the ball into the oncoming Thiago Thomas to put us 1-0 up. And it's goal scorer turned provider here as he sets up Asprilla, who puts daylight between the two teams. It's our former player Pedro Neto who manages to pull one back for Chelsea. This one dribbles in over the line, but it will mean nothing as the game finishes 2-1 and we progress through to the FA Cup final. Before that, however, we have the small matter of dispatching Brentford on our agenda. Asprilla knocks it out to Arambaru, back into Santos, out wide to Iwobi. He slips it to Thomas, cross the box and back to Santos. What an unbelievable tiki-taka goal from the team. And it's important that we play ourselves into form ahead of such a big game in a few weeks' time. And that good form will continue here against Fulham as Guiu is slipped in by Iwobi. He dinks it over the goalie to make him look silly. It's Thiago Thomas then breaking into the box, slips it across to Asprilla to put us 2-0 up. He'll then return the favours. He slips across the box over to Iwobi to score against his former club. It's a deft pass from Thiago Thomas that finds Asprilla to put us even further out of sight. Thiago Thomas' shot is saved, but Guiu is on the follow-up to smash it into the roof of the net. And if you were wondering why we were so free scoring against Fulham, well, it's because we were coming up against this tactical lunatic.
It's just who we are, mate.
Now, biggest day of Conor Cody's managerial career, we travel to Wembley Stadium for the FA Cup final against Everton. And in a game where we're going to need a near perfect performance, it's Agbadou who drops an absolute clanger as Everton go 1-0 up. It just dribbles over the line. Moisey is delighted. And it's Minta who manages to wriggle free in the box and put it past Junior to put Everton 2-0 up. It was starting to look like maybe the writing was on the wall, but André Santos had different ideas with that absolute stunner. It's Santos again in midfield who dinks this over. Asprilla finds himself in the box and slams it home. We managed to wrestle back the game and bring it back to 2-2. And from then on in, it was the missed chance show as we drive this one wide from Gudmundsson. It's Thiago Thomas with a lame effort saved by the keeper, and Alex Iwobi's long distance shot just drifts wide. In the shootout, Gudmundsson sees his penalty saved alongside Arambaru. And then it's Minta, the man who seems to be cursing us all season, who slots home to win the FA Cup for Everton. Moisey gets his big day out as Branthwaite raises the cup above his head. It's a gutting result for us. Despite that very disappointing end of the season, we can be happy with the work we did in the league. A 5th place finish for us. We'll be playing in Europe next year. And Thiago Thomas, joint Golden Boot winner with Victor Gyökeres and João Pedro. Great season from him. Now, if that cup final taught me anything, it was that we needed a more creative outlet in midfield. So that's why I've decided to bring in Matheus Fernandes for big money from West Ham United. Unfortunately for Agbadou, it was his mistake that set us off on the wrong path in that cup final. So we've decided to replace him, bring in Gonçalo Ignacio from Sporting. And every team needs a good surprise package, and none more surprising than this left field transfer. We've brought in João Felix, the failed wonder kid. He's already played in the Premier League, so he's got some experience, and he's another string to our bow in attack. So after investing big money in the team, expectations were sky high. We've made it to a cup final now. It's time this team starts progressing. Well, we couldn't get off to a worse start here as Leeds United go 1-0 up against us in the opening game. Albert Gudmundsson bearing down goals taken down would have been a penalty, only for Asprilla picked up the loose ball and puts us back on level terms. From then on, the floodgates open. Fernandes sees his shot saved. Gudmundsson picks up the loose effort. It's Asprilla to bury this, and looks like the game is out of sight, but we don't stop there. João Gomes slots away, followed by Gudmundsson again, and it's Mark Guiu off the bench to put us 6 up, followed by João Felix getting a debut goal. Dreams start to life for him. Now, despite being 7-1 up, Asprilla wasn't happy with that, decides to violate this Leeds defender and slots it into the back of the net. An 8-win victory for us on the opening day and a hat-trick for Yasser Asprilla. What an unbelievable start to the season. And what a moment for Wolves here, their first time in Europe since the 1920 season. It's Agbadou who gets us off to a flying start as he rises highest a header from a corner. It's Mateus Fernandes who gets his first goal for the club before the ever-dependable Thiago Thomas whips this one in from the edge of the box. A stunning finish and a stunning return to Europe. But all our attention is back in England as we are in the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle United. We tasted defeat in Wembley last year, we're not doing it again this time. Thiago Thomas goes round the goalie and slots it in to put us 1-0 up. It's a quick reply from Nottingham Forest down the other end, and the silly red card from Ignacio puts us down to 10 men. And from the resultant free kick, they go on with Cali Muando and Bag. It's Thiago Thomas who's denied in the 89th minute, and I thought we'd never see daylight. But it's Gudmundsson, the man from the land of ice, who's red hot in front of goal, that manages to pull it back for us in the 90th minute. The man we brought in to only be a substitute option has definitely proved himself as the main man, as in the 100th minute in extra time, he bags us the winner. It's Albert Gudmundsson's heroics that seal the deal for us as we go on to claim our first trophy under this Conor Cody regime, as João Gomes finally gets his hand on some silverware. But there's nothing like a derby game to snap you back into reality as we travel to Villa Park to take on the Villains. We never seem to get much luck against them, and that continues here as the ball falls kindly for Barrenechea before new signing Hugo Ekitike puts Villa 2 up. We fire back with an excellent cross for Gudmundsson and an even better header from Asprilla, but despite these flash chances across goal and an excellent bit of skill from Mateus Fernandes here, I thought he was going to secure the win for us. We just can't get the result, and we are hit with a sobering result as we lose 2-1 to Villa. We've got to try and forget that horrible result now, as it's the Europa League semi-finals. We already lost in the first leg 3-2 against Athletic Bilbao, and we get off to a horror start as they extend their league. It's a quick fire back from Thiago Thomas as he headers over the keeper before Asprilla's deflected shot, it falls into his path once more to put us 2-1 up. Great save from Junior in the closing moments of the game before that man again, Gudmundsson, comes up to put us in the lead. He writes himself into Wolves folklore as we progress through to the Europa League final. And that final will take place at the home of Borussia Mönchengladbach as we travel to Germany to take on Besiktas in the final. The biggest moment of this team's journey so far, no doubt, but we are more than ready for it. We've tasted defeat in cup finals, but most recently we've tasted what it's like to win, so we will be coming in more than ready. But despite all that, it's another slow start as Besiktas bag early in the 20th minute to put them 1-0 up. We score back with Mateus Fernandes, but he's just offside. It's a lovely dink over the top to Asprilla, who has a shot but straight at the goalie, and I was thinking the worst here. But it's that man again, Thiago Thomas, in the dying moments of the game, who gives us a lifeline as we head into extra time. And we couldn't have asked for a better start to extra time, as Gudmundsson's loopy header is the goal to send us over the edge as we claim victory here in the Europa League final. Our second trophy of the season. It's been an absolutely unbelievable campaign from us. We're getting the hang of this winning thing as João Gomes lifts the Europa League trophy for us. And better still, we will be playing Champions League football next year. Not that that was ever in doubt, because we've managed to pull off a third place finish here in the league. An unbelievable season. Top bagsman Thiago Thomas, 36 goals, unbelievable campaign. Albert not far behind him with 31. Thiago Thomas definitely our most important player this year, 14 assists, joint top with Alex Iwobi. Well, that concludes an unbelievable season for us, definitely our best so far. We're not satisfied yet, we want to win the big ones. But if we're going to win those big trophies, the Premier League, the Champions League, I said we couldn't do it without this absolute Wolverhampton Wanderers icon in the team. Welcome home, Ruben Neves. And to give Hugo Bueno a bit of support at left back, I've brought in Nuno Tavares. Now, of course, as we're the Europa League holders, we take on the Champions League winners in the form of Juventus. We travel to the Signal Iduna Park to take on the old lady, and well, if Juventus are the old lady, well then we kicked her walking stick out from underneath her with this performance. Some ruthless finishing from Albert Gudmundsson sees Lunin look like a bit of an idiot in goal. It's João Felix's deflected effort that falls into the path of Thiago Thomas. There was only ever going to be one result there. And Ruben Neves picks up where he left off for Wolverhampton with a lovely ball over the top and a stunning lob from Albert Gudmundsson. An absolutely incredible finish over the keeper. He had no right to score from there, and what a performance from Wolverhampton Wanderers as we secure yet another trophy in quick succession. Now, if we can beat the Champions League holders 4-0, we can beat anybody, and we're going to test that theory here at Anfield against Liverpool. Year after year, these bend us over, so I was very optimistic. And well, that optimism gets shat all over as in the 3rd minute Giovanni Quenda opens the scoring for Liverpool. Isak's effort just whistles wide, which would have put them 2-0 up and out of sight. But this Wolverhampton Wanderers team is different this year as Fernandez's loopy ball over the top finds Thiago Thomas with his trademark cross-goal finish. It's then Fernandez's turn to get on the score sheet as this incredible skill to find his way through the Liverpool defence results in a beautiful goal past the keeper. And to round it off, Yasser Asprilla puts a postage stamp on this one and says see you later as we finally break the hoodoo and beat Liverpool at Anfield. And while we're in the groove of breaking these bad trends, I said we would play this game away at Villa Park. Every year we seem to come up short here. Well, I thought we were going to get off to another horrendous start, but it's an incredible double save from Junior before a deflected effort onto the post. We then break up the pitch. Fernandez slips through Thiago Thomas. Surely only one result here as he sticks it inside. Gudmundsson surely going to bag? No. Unbelievable stop from the keeper. Down the other end, Thiago Thomas's deflected shot falls into the path of Gudmundsson and he manages to score a scrappy goal. But look, they say when you're going for a title, you have to win by hook or by crook, and that's what we managed to do here as we get that monkey off our back at Villa Park and secure a victory. Now, from Birmingham to Barcelona, we find ourselves coming up against the Catalonians in our opening game of the Champions League. Our first time ever playing in the competition, expectations were high. As if it wasn't hard enough coming up against Barca, they've got themselves Pep Guardiola back in charge. Well, seeing as Pep was watching, I said it was only right that we treat him to some liquid football as Asprilla's cross is met with a first time ever from Gudmundsson. Crossed the keeper, nothing he could do about that. A stunning start here as we score within 5 minutes at the Nou Camp. Captain João Gomez's shot is saved by Garcia, but of course that man again, the fox in the box, Albert Gudmundsson manages to bag for us and we're 2-0 up and in dreamland. We get a dose of reality here though as a wonder strike from Fermin Lopez followed quickly up by Frankie de Jong's effort inside the box sees us level. It's Andre Santos' strong header in the air to put us up again. A beautiful goal and Andre Santos once again proving that he is now a world-class midfielder as we find ourselves 3-2 up at the Nou Camp. And when all you want is a bit of composure, Evan Ndika loses his head and dives in and gives away a penalty. Lamine Yamal steps up and of course he scores. Slips it just underneath Junior and we are level at 3-3. Now I don't know, did Evan Ndika forget to eat his Weetabix this morning or something, but there was something clearly wrong with him as he gave away a second penalty. Lamine Yamal steps up but it's a super save from Junior in the top right. We try and fire back ourselves with Thomas, but it just sails over the bar. Conor Cody can't believe it. We'll never have a better chance to win at the Nou Camp as we're forced to settle for a 3-3 draw. Probably a fair result on the reflection of things, but yeah, you never know what could have happened if we hadn't given away them two sloppy penalties. But now from the Nou Camp to the home of football, Wembley Stadium, we're back again for the EFL Cup final. 2 in a row for us now. We of course are the holders and we're coming up against Newcastle here and Andre Santos is the man to get us in front. Albert Gudmundsson with a bit of trickery inside the box manages to wriggle free and double our lead. 2 goals to good now inside just 15 minutes of football. Absolutely stunning stuff. We've blown Newcastle away here early. And we won't stop either as it's Thiago Thomas who smashes this one in from range to crush Newcastle's dreams and bury them under a mountain of goals as we once again claim the EFL Cup. But forget about the EFL Cup for a minute because we've got the small matter of the Champions League quarter-finals on the line here. A 2-1 defeat at Molineux meant we had to go to Juventus and win. And we get off to the perfect start here. It's Albert Gudmundsson who puts us back in contention early with a lovely goal. Juve answer back well though as McKennie's header fires past Junior to give them the lead on aggregate again. We don't stop though as Gudmundsson plays in Mateus Fernandez. Nice finish into the side netting there to put us level once more. Juve having their best moments from corners here. Nice save from Junior. It was McKennie up again. But we start to break free here. Gudmundsson travelling down. Can we get the perfect counter-attack here? Cuts back inside. He's got Gavardio on skates. Gudmundsson, can he go all the way? Gavardio dives in. Albert Gudmundsson! In the dying moments of the game, 83 minutes on the clock. Albert Gudmundsson gives us the lead as we crush Juve dreams and progress through to the Champions League semi-finals. Stunning scenes here in Turin. Now, it's not often you get the chance to dunk on your noisy neighbours. I said we definitely take the opportunity as it's Evan Ndika of all people to pop up in the box and smash it into the roof of the net. Alex Iwobi plays in Mark Guillou here, who knocks it into Thiago Thomas. Of course, only one outcome here as we put Tom Brady's boys to the sword and easily sweep them aside. However, I only really played that game because I wanted to rotate the team so that we'd be full strength coming up here against the Gunners as they travel to Molineux for the Champions League semi-finals. And just look who's back in town. Jürgen Strand-Larsen. We'll be making sure he doesn't score anyway. Asprilla's dink inside to Thiago Thomas, strikes the crossbar, surely going to bag, no, bangs the crossbar once more. Nice work from Mateus Fernandes here to make a bit of space, but he just fires over. And in the second half here, Arsenal start to go up a gear as Larsen nearly comes close to scoring. We managed to scramble it off the line just about, but Saka's saved effort falls to him kindly in the box as he puts Arsenal 1-0 up, and it's not long before he scores a second. Celebrating against us too. We'll remember that, Jürgen. We'll remember that. We made you. Now, after that, my head was hot. I was out for revenge here in the second leg. 2-0 down. We had to score. Mark Guiu just sails this one over. Alex Iwobi against his former club manages to sting the gloves of Raya. And João Gomez has to be scoring there. And look, it's the old adage, if you don't take your chances, you will be punished. A goal from Saka and a clumsy moment from João Gomez sees us face a penalty here. Bukayo Saka, never in doubt, puts Junior on his arse and makes him look silly. The Arsenal continue to gun us down as they go 3-0 up, and it's not long before Bukayo Saka completes his hat-trick to put us 4-0 down on the night, 6-0 on aggregate. A damaging defeat, and we're dumped out of the Champions League. We've got to put that horrendous result out of our heads though as we travel to Stamford Bridge to face Chelsea. These fellas are only 3 points behind us in the title race, so it's a crucial game. And well, that's one of the strangest goals you'll ever see. Asprilla's shot smashes off the crossbar, smashes off the post, and smashes off the keeper's face. But the team of deflected goals, well, you better get used to it for this game as Chelsea go down the other end and it's saved into the path of Delap as he manages to bag for Chelsea. Asprilla, twinkle toes in the box, deserved this goal. Of course, it's Thiago Thomas on site to bury the rebound. It's Hugo Bueno of all people to play this defence-splitting pass as it's Thiago Thomas bearing down on goal, fires it at the keeper. And yeah, once more falls into the path kindly of Albert Gudmundsson. I told you deflected goals with the team of this game. And well, they're not finished yet either as Chelsea go down the other end. Palmer's effort is saved, but it falls kindly into the path of Pajel. But it won't be enough as we secure the victory at Stamford Bridge. 3-2 over Chelsea, and that all but confirms that they crash out of the title race. And as you can see here, it's just us and Manchester City really left in the running. And of course, as fate would have it, we play each other next. And so we travel away to the Etihad. Consecutive tough away games for us. But look, if you want to become champions, you've got to go to these kind of grounds and win. And well, we couldn't get off to a worse start here really, as it's that man Erling Haaland who manages to wriggle free in the box and slip it into Phil Foden. In fairness, it's a lovely bit of skill that sends Ignacio back to Portugal as Foden bags for City and puts us 1-0 down. We won't be disheartened though as Arambaru's ball over the top to Gudmundsson finds Thiago Thomas, whose deflected strike finds Santos. Saved by Donnarumma from the corner, a set piece routine, back stick. Oh, terrible effort. Ryan Cherky now finds himself free on the wing, slips it into Haaland, but good defending from us and we win it back. And just when you want some composure on the ball, Junior passes it straight to Haaland, who buries it of course to put us 2-0 down, which could knock us out of this title race. It's Arambaru now who's breaking out from the back from us, dodges the tackle nicely, and a huge switch cross field over to Thiago Thomas. A stunning ball. It's a deft header from him who finds Andre Santos, slips it across the box. Albert Gudmundsson only ever going to be one result from there, and we're more than back in this game here. Mateus Fernandes about 30 yards out here finds Asprilla. Just sails wide of the post, but so close we're knocking on that door. Haaland down the other end, we managed to win it back, play it back to Junior. No mistakes this time please. João Gomez up to Inacio of all players as he carries upfield. City looking leggy here. Inacio still going, slips it inside. It's Asprilla up to Gudmundsson. 88th-minute equaliser. Albert Gudmundsson from the clutches of defeat snatches us a draw here at the Etihad. A huge result and one that keeps them out of touching distance in this title race. Haaland and Thomas discussed it there. He cannot believe what has happened here today. And look how huge of a result that was for us, as on the final day of the season we sit just 2 points above City. We played Brighton in our final game of the season. And well, the Seagulls, they were doing the best to spoil the party here as we're forced to pull off a stunning save with Junior. From the resulting corner then, Brighton elect to go short here as Watson goes to cross it in, but Junior with a huge claim and he slips it out quickly. Asprilla on the counter-attack. Can we get something from this? Still going here, and look who's out in front. Albert Gudmundsson. Is he going to score? Slips it across for the easy goal, and Thiago Thomas gives us the 1-0 lead that we need to feel safety here on the final day. Albert Gudmundsson bearing down on goal, hits the post but finds Asprilla kindly inside the box. But look, on the final day where we're going to be crowned champions, you just know that man Albert Gudmundsson was never going to leave without a goal as he secures his 27th of the season. And that goal will be the one to put the rubber stamp on it as we set foot upon the podium. The Premier League trophy there waiting for us. Captain João Gomes raised it above his head as we are confirmed as Premier League champions for the very first time. Fantastic scenes here as we bring the trophy back to Wolverhampton. However, the job's not done. I'm not quite satisfied until we've won the one with the big ears. I know it's great to get this double EFL Cup and Premier League, but I want the big one. The Champions League is what we're going to be focusing solely on next year, and we're not going to stop until that trophy has gold and black ribbons on it. Now, in order to win something like the Champions League, you need absolute quality in every position, and that's what I've decided to try and do here as we bring in Portuguese youngster Rodrigo Moura from Roma. Now, I've had my eye on this fella for a long time. He spent some time at Newcastle in this career mode. We couldn't sign him then, they wouldn't sell to us, but we've managed to get him now. We've got a few ageing players in the squad, so this fella will give us some much needed youth and exuberance. Hopefully, he's the final piece that we need in order to complete this Champions League puzzle. Now, as I said, we'll be focusing solely on Champions League action for this season, and that's where we'll start here as AEK Athens feel the wrath of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Mark Guiu and Thiago Thomas combining to put us in front there. Against Salzburg, it's Ruben Neves' dink over the top that finds Santos flying through the air. Thiago Thomas wrapping up all 3 points for us here. It'll be him on the score sheet once more against Sparta as Albert Gudmundsson follows up to put us aloft the Champions League table. Benfica up next, and that man Thiago Thomas scores again. Benfica fire back well though from a corner. Nice play from us here as Mark Guiu curls around the keeper to put us 2-1 up. And of course, our best player this season, Thiago Thomas, slips in Andre Santos, never in doubt in front of goal, as we secure the 3-1 victory here against Benfica. Next up, Inter travel to Molineux, and new signing Rodrigo Moura's tame effort falls kindly into the path of Albert Gudmundsson. Inter get a bit of fortune themselves though, as this saved effort falls into Barella's path. A bit of trickery and skill here from Asprilla, bamboozles the defender. Mateus Fernandes strikes the crossbar. But it's that man once more, Thiago Thomas, who's alive inside the box to header us home a 2-1 victory against Inter. A huge result at Molineux, but our dealings with Italian teams wasn't quite finished there as we travel away to Juve once more. The old lady, no doubt, after revenge after all the hurt we've caused her last year. It's the American and the Canadian who combine to put Juve up here as McKennie and Jonathan David run riot on our goal. A quick breakaway sees Thiago Thomas finally get a bit of space as he pulls one back for us. Albert Gudmundsson flicks it into Mateus Fernandes once again. Lots of space for us here. Mateus Fernandes going all the way, and it's 3-2 all of a sudden. We couldn't do the impossible and come back, could we? Well, we'll get one final chance as a 92nd minute corner is flicked on from Evan Ndika to complete the comeback. 3-3 at the Allianz Stadium here in Turin. Juventus hearts are broken. They finally thought they got their revenge against us, but Evan Ndika had other ideas as he rises highest to secure a point for us here. Next up, it's Barcelona in the quarter-finals, and it's a huge mistake from Ibrahima Konate to give us a penalty here in the opening minutes. Albert Gudmundsson, never in doubt from the spot, fires past Johan Garcia to give us the 1-0 lead. We then have nice interchanging play to find Andre Santos inside the box, smashes it into the roof of the net. Thiago Thomas was it ever in doubt in front of goal. A toe poke finish past Johan Garcia, and he's forced to pick the ball out of his net for a third time. And we're not finished there either, as of all people, it's a Rambaroo up from the back to bury Barca under a 4-0 deficit. And to add insult to injury, it's their former youth player Mark Guiu to seal the victory for us at Molineux in the reverse leg as we progress through to the semi-finals after a 7-1 demolition of the Catalonians. Things don't get easier though fixture wise, as in the semi-final we come up against PSG, but no problem for Jan Asprilla as his toe poke finish goes past the keeper to put us 1-0 up at Molineux. It's a clumsy challenge from Evan and Deek inside the box, and it's former Wolves player Vitinha who steps up, but a stunning save from Junior. He wasn't to be denied the second time though, as a stunning effort from him puts Paris back on level terms. Bit of trickery inside the box here, frees up Doué who puts Paris 2-1 up on the night. We weren't going to lie down though, as Mateus Fernandes buries another one for us, and it's level before Thiago Thomas, that man once more, coming in clutch to put us 3-2 up against PSG. We travel to Paris with a goal advantage on aggregate, and in the City of Love we were looking to cause nothing but heartbreak, and Albert Gudmundsson makes good on that as he puts us 1-0 in front. And now how's this for a team move? Junior knocks it up to Gudmundsson, he heads it off to Fernandes, heads it on to Santos, lovely flick of a header over the top. It's Gudmundsson bearing down on goal, and only one result when he's in front of the posts. 2-0 here in Paris, we are flying. Andre Santos then with a lovely ball over the top into the path of Thiago Thomas, squares it unselfishly over to Gudmundsson, and that is that as we wrap up a 3-0 victory here in Paris as PSG have been put to the sword, and we progress on to the Champions League final, and we'll be coming up against none other than European royalty Bayern Munich in the final. Now, it's a much different Bayern Munich team than we're used to seeing these days, but look, they're still an unbelievable side. Great defenders, they still got the likes of Musiala, Kimmich, Elise in their side, so they're going to be extremely dangerous, but we're more than up for the challenge. After years and years of building, countless trophies under our belt now, we know how to get over the line in these kind of games. We are more than prepared for a game like this, and we are ready to etch our name into European history. Right off the bat, it's Jamal Musiala pulling the strings. A great save from Junior to deny Bayern early, and from the resulting corner, it's Jonathan Tah with the header. Falls into the path of Deo Upamecano. An unlikely goal scorer, but a goal scored nonetheless, and we find ourselves 1-0 down early here. It's Musiala inside the box, causing us all sorts of trouble again. Falls to the Bayern striker, but it just manages to go wide. Don't know how they missed that. And from the resulting corner, it's Pavlovic who manages to find Dale Upamecano free in the box again, and he stings the glove of Junior this time, but we got to do something about him getting loose in the box. Andre Santos now on the attack for us. Mateus Fernandes! Unbelievable strike here in the final. What a moment to score a screamer like that. He was somewhat of an unknown. I didn't know what we were going to get out of him when we signed him. He'd failed the West Ham. He's more than made up for his selection here. An unbelievable strike. But the Wolves have their tails up now. Andre Santos in the box. Oh, just drifts wide. Good effort though. We're on top here. Bayern try and strike back, dribbles just wide. Good save from Junior here to keep them out. Second half now, Gudmundsson's shot is blocked, saved easily by the Bayern keeper, but it's Thiago Thomas cross the box and into the path of Albert Gudmundsson to put us 2-1 up in the Champions League final. Our two danger men combining there to give us the lead. Bayern won't lie down though, as it's a dink ball over the top that splits the defence, and Pavlidis brings Bayern back on level terms with a dink over Junior. Company's delighted with that one, his team back on level terms. But we won't lie down here, and from the kickoff I say let's just go for it. And it's Albert Gudmundsson, bit of trickery, sure look why not. Fires it into the goal from miles out. An unbelievable strike from the Icelandic international. Dying moments of the game here, and Bayern on the attack. He gets past our defence, but he can't get past Junior. An unbelievable stop from our keeper. And from the resulting corner, it's Junior again who rises highest as the referee's whistle echoes through the stadium. Wolverhampton Wanderers are champions of Europe. An unbelievable journey from the midst of relegation when Conor Cody came in all those years ago, to EFL Cup winners, to Europa League winners, to Premier League winners, and now finally Champions League winners. What a return to glory for Wolverhampton and the boys in gold and black as we secure the trophy with the big ears in the most dramatic of fashions. An unbelievable story and an unbelievable win. And look at the streets of Wolverhampton as the boys travel through victorious. An unbelievable team. Players like Gudmundsson never even thought he was going to be anywhere near as good as he turned out to be. He was brought in to be a backup for God's sake. Somebody like Thiago Thomas, an absolutely unbelievable signing on the left wing. Andre Santos midfield, Junior in goal, Ndika at the back, one of our first ever signings. An unbelievable squad, an unbelievable team and an unbelievable story. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.